Hey guys, it's Brittany with NGN. We are here with Andy Wilson, an executive producer for Mafia III.
Ooh, baby, it's a long way down to the bottom of the river. Oh, my.
Hangar 13 is a new studio, and it's actually comprised of a lot of people from the 2K Czech studio who came over and helped us found the studio. So there is a kind of through line through the previous Mafia games into this one. Our game, Mafia 3, is basically it's the story of Lincoln Clay, who's a former Vietnam veteran and an orphan who, on returning from the war back to New Bordeaux, which is the city in which the game is set, our reimagined version of New Orleans. On returning from the war, he falls in with the black mob, who become his kind of surrogate family, but then they're betrayed and slaughtered by the Italian mob, which sets up the story for the game, which is Lincoln's revenge quest to kind of avenge his lost family.
Yeah, the character, just through the trailer, you can tell there's a lot of work that's been put into the character, and something I even noticed is how detailed they are. I'm guessing there's a lot of performance capture that went into making these characters. Can you go into a little bit more about that?
Sure. Characterization is hugely important to the Mafia franchise generally, and this is no different. You know, our creative director Hayden, he's a writer by trade, so he's a narrative guy, and it's a very, very strongly focused on the narrative, the series as a whole. Performance capture is hugely important to us. We're trying to be industry leading with this. We're trying to actually really kind of push some new benchmarks in performance capture, and particularly in facial animation, because all of those kind of extra little details you get about how a character's feeling and what they're really thinking, those just subtle movements of the muscles in their face, even, you know, a small raised eyebrow or something like that makes all the difference to a cinematic. And so we're really trying to capture all of that. We have our own performance capture studio at 2K, so we've got all of the kind of latest greatest tech, and we've really been pushing the boat out to make sure that this game kind of stands up as one of the big tentpoles of the year, and, you know, in terms of performance capture generally.
Well, did you guys actually have the voice actor do the performance capture himself, or did you bring in a whole new set of actors that are specifically trained in performance capture?
We actually do the whole thing at once, so the actors are actually kind of suited up, and they've got the kind of head cams on that track all of the, you know, the fine detailed muscle movements beneath their skin even as they're talking. And we actually had one really awesome scene. It's called the Night of Blood in the game. It's the inciting incident actually where the Italians come in and kind of wipe out the black mob, and in that particular scene we had the vast majority of the cast on stage all together, and you can see it in the performance. You know, the fact that it's actually all of the actors interacting, it comes through in the performance, because it's not, you know, kind of chopped off heads on other people's bodies or things that have been kind of hand animated or anything like that.
I love that I'm all about the story and about getting behind a character and becoming emotionally attached to the character. So I think something like that, where the actors even put more effort into it, really will help me connect to the story even more. So I heard you guys just got some 1080s to use at the studio. How has that helped in the development process, and what's your experience with that?
It's great to have them in, actually. It's always good to have kind of bleeding edge hardware, because it lets us see how far we're going to be able to push the game, and, you know, with all of the kind of graphics settings turned up to 11, it's kind of fun to see how good the game's looking. So yeah, it's a really kind of powerful card, and we're in the depths of compatibility testing at the moment, and those are always the kind of, you know, you'd like to have the high benchmarks so that you can really push the game. And, you know, I assume a lot of people are going to be playing it on huge beast PCs, and so we're, you know, obviously making sure that we make the most of it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for meeting with me today. Thank you so much for watching. We have a lot coming up, so stay tuned.